Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, Karen's Budget and Plan. Today I want to go over why it is important to keep a food waste list and what you can do in order to ensure that you keep that food waste list to a minimum. So basically, a good few videos back I shared with you ways that you can save on your groceries, and two of the ways in that was to keep a pantry and freezer list, which I have a video about that. I will have it linked up in the and also you can look it down in the description. And the other method of that was to keep a food waste list, and both of them are very closely linked. If you do good with the pantry and the freezer list, and constantly every week before you go shopping make a new list, you will definitely keep on top of all of your food, hence you won't throw out as much food as you used to. So they definitely work in sync. So I have been keeping a list of my stuff since September. The day, actually it was 22nd of September when I recorded that video, and you can see I have nearly a full page of stuff here. So I'm just going to read off the list of stuff that I have. So chicken fillets, 1.5 chicken fillets, 4 small pots of jelly, some leftover Moppy Joe mix, sausages, 4 sausages, some celery, some frozen banana smoothie mix, also 2 other bags of smoothie mix, some green beans that were frozen, some Cheerios, vegetable stock, pineapple pieces. There I had some of that cheese spread, like a Philadelphia cheese spread, a pomegranate, some pears, oranges, bolognese sauce, leftover bolognese sauce, leftover pork roast with sauce, plums and nectarines. So basically I kind of wrote out the date, I wrote the item, I wrote the reason why I was throwing it out, and then the quantity that I had. So there is lots of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them was because of the date, so I left them, the best by date or use by date was over like a good amount. You know, there is a certain amount of use your kind of common sense on some stuff, like the smell test and all that sort of stuff, but these were gone too bad. Also with the freezer stuff, all of them had freezer burn because they had been in there for approximately 2 years, and my freezer just doesn't cope with stuff, and everything, 2 of the things were open, so they had really bad freezer burn, and then the 2 packs of smoothie mix, it was just, yeah, they had freezer burn. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of fruit, or 6 fruit that went bad. So what I mean is that they were in our house too long and they started to get squishy, and they started to you know, just ferment and do stuff that just doesn't taste nice. And lots of it was my leftover food is I left it too long and I didn't freeze it. I left it in the fridge. You can leave it in the fridge for up to 3 days, and then you have to freeze it or eat it, and I did neither of those things, so I had to throw things out. And that's really it. And then there was one with there was Cheerios that went stale because they were in the they were opened for too long without us eating them. Like, and I think this list isn't half as bad if I hadn't been doing my weekly fridge, freezer and pantry lists, and making meals from them. If I hadn't have been doing that, this list would have been really long. There would have been so much food throwing out on a weekly basis. So that's why I think it is so important to do both of these side by side. If you want, you can just kind of do the food waste list first, and then that will kind of open your eyes and just kind of confirm to you how much money that you're throwing away, how much food waste you're putting in the bin, how much trash you are sending to the dump, you know. And that's obviously something that for me is important, that I don't want to send any more rubbish to the rubbish, the dump, then that needs to be there. So that's one of the reasons why I did it. And then because I was doing, as I said, the freezer, the fridge and the pantry list, it really did help me with reducing the amount of waste, because I didn't have that much food. There was, like, at the start of this week is where I had to throw away the pork roast. I did a slow cooker pork roast with really nice sauce. It was bad. Robert had brought it as leftovers the day after I cooked it, and then we left it in the fridge, and it just went bad, and we didn't use it up, and we should have used it up at the weekend like we had planned to, but we just didn't. So I had to throw that out. And that is, you know, that pork roast cost me €8, 7 euros I think it was, plus the other ingredients. Just the meat, if that cost me €7, and I threw about half of it away. So I threw away €4 plus however much the sauce cost me to make, you know. And so I potentially I threw away €5-6 just from with the pork roast. And that's not what I want to do. I want to enjoy all of the food that I make, and get the most out of the food that we make, and most out of the money that you're spending on your groceries. So that's why I think having a food waste list is a really good idea. I just wrote mine in my bullet journal just because I'm just trying to use up this journal, because I have lots of like paper pads that I don't ever really use. But you can do lots of stuff. You can just write it on just a normal piece of paper and just keep it for a month. I literally did it from the 22nd of September to the 22nd of, or today is the 23rd of October. So I did it for one whole calendar month. And yeah, it kind of just makes me realize that if I'm cooking stuff and I'm making leftovers, I need to appropriately deal with that. If I find out that Robert's not going to eat it the next day, or I don't fancy eating it the next day, I need to then freeze it. I need to make sure that I freeze it properly. With my fruit and veg, mainly it was the fruit that got thrown out, the veg kind of got used. I need to make sure that I'm not buying more than I need. So like oranges, I had oranges there for a very, very long time, and I just forgot to eat them. There were 6 oranges and I threw them out. So for me, because sometimes I do want an orange, but I know that I'm not going to eat 6 oranges within a couple of weeks. So maybe I just buy 2 or 3 loose oranges and leave them out in my sight that I can see them. The same with there was plums again. I don't leave everything out in my sight. I kind of have it here kind of hidden behind my fridge. So I think I need to leave it maybe in like the center of the table, put the fruit, make a fruit bowl in the center of the table and leave it there. And that way it will kind of entice me, and then like seeing it every single day will be kind of like, yay, you need to eat some fruit today, Karen. Eat the fruit. You know, so buying less of it, I think, is a way to go. And then stop buying smoothie mix, because I threw out 3 bags of smoothie mix. So yes, that is what I wanted to share with you. I hope that it kind of helped you guys. I helped you guys kind of see that from everything that I've been throwing away, I now have to look at this and, as I said, go through it and kind of adjust the way I'm spending. I'm buying stuff in the grocery store, buy less of it, don't buy anything at all. Am I just buying it just because I want to buy it? It makes me look cool when I have like lots of celery, although we have been using celery a lot lately. But yeah, so I just need to look at the way that I am storing cooked food, storing my vegetables, storing my fruit, and making adjustments that I can get longer out of it, freeze it if I can, and that sort of stuff. So that's it, guys. That is everything I wanted to share. As I said, please do go to that video where I talk about saving money on your groceries. There's also the video about keeping a pantry, a fridge and a freezer list, and keeping a running list of that. Like, I am going to go shopping tomorrow, and so I'm going to make my list now. I have run out of lots of stuff, which is really good, because I know that I'm using it. You know, if stuff is kind of constantly appearing on my list and I'm not using it, I do know that that's not something that we should be buying it. And then whenever that runs out, we need to just scrap that. Like for instance, there's been 2 tins of tuna on the list since I started a month ago, and they don't look like they're going to be eaten anytime soon. In fact, I'm going to have to tell Robert that he needs to bring that tomorrow for work, just so we can eat one of them, and we won't be buying that again. And if I do buy it, it will literally be when he requests that he wants to bring tuna and sweet corn to work, and I will just go and buy a tin of tuna for him, just one single tin. So yes, having these lists, making these lists and checking them twice and checking them every single week, creating your meal plan from it, using up every single thing that's in your press, storing your leftovers, your fruit, your veg, your meats properly can prolong the life of them, and will definitely help reduce that food waste list. And that is the key to it, because you don't want to be throwing out food that you've just spent lots of money on, and also you don't want that food going to like the dumpster and all that sort of stuff. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.